Solve the system of linear equations using a graphing tool. So when we think of graphing tools, we think of things like graphing calculators or online websites or resources that let us graph the lines without having to do it by hand. So here's the first example we have is a TI-84 graphing calculator. So if you have one at home, follow along and I'll show you how to solve this system on this calculator. So we have to turn it on with the on button. And we're first going to go to the y equals button. And we're going to enter the first equation, y equals negative 3x plus 3. So I'm going to type in negative 3x plus 3. And there's my first equation. Then I'm going to scroll down using the down arrow to the second y equals for the second equation. Y equals negative 1/3 x minus 5. So I'll type in negative. Now since 1/3 is a fraction, I'm going to use parentheses 1 divided by 3 parentheses x minus 5 to type in the second equation. Now that I have both equations in, I can press the graph button to see my two lines, to see my system. Now, their point of intersection is somewhere here, but we need the calculator to tell us that exact point. So if you hit second calc or second trace, which brings you to the calc menu, if you see number 5 says intersect. So you can scroll down to number 5 using your arrows or just hit the number 5. And that brings you back to your graph. Now it says first curve. That just means that your line is on the your cursor, this little blinking dot, is on the first line. So it is, so we can hit enter. Second curve or the second line, the blinking dot, the cursor is on, yes. Now guess, we're going to guess where the intersection is. So I'm going to use the left or right, in this case the right arrow, to go kind of where I think it is, around here, and hit enter. So now on this screen it should say intersection. You have x equals 3 and y equals negative 6. So that would mean that our point of intersection is going to be 3, negative 6. And looking at our answer choices means that our solution would be B. So using the graphing calculator, we were able to find our solution. But what if you don't have a graphing calculator? What if you only have the internet? So the internet has a wonderful website called Desmos.com that has a graphing calculator or graphing feature built in. So if you go to the internet and you go to Desmos.com/calculator, it brings you to this screen. So here we're going to type in our two equations. So you can use your keyboard to type in the first box, y equals negative 3x plus 3. And there's the first line. Then if you use your mouse and click on the second line, you can type in the second equation, y equals negative 1. Now over, I'm going to use the slash button, 3. And then I'm going to use the over arrow to get out of the denominator, x minus 5. So I typed in my two equations, and if I click in the graph area, the little keyboard will go away. And I see my two lines, and then the point of intersection, I'm going to use my mouse and I'm going to click, and then I'm going to hover over it, and I can see that the point of intersection is 3, negative 6. So that would be the solution, 3, negative 6, which agrees with what our graphing calculator gave us also. So whether you use the graphing calculator or the Desmos, our solution to this system is going to be B, 3, negative 6.